Thanks for joining us. And today we're going to talk about Kriya Yoga and the secret of Darshan. What is it, how it works, and how you can apply it in your life. So in yogic teachings, Kriya Yoga included, we often talk about Darshan. And Darshan means viewing in Sanskrit. What it is normally used to refer to is the sight of a saint or some kind of exalted spiritual being. And the idea is that if you come into close proximity or have sight of this said being, that you will be somehow empowered, you will receive a blessing. So in Kriya Yoga, often the picture of Lahiri Baba, when he's meditating in the full lotus position, is seen as one of the mechanisms for Darshan. And certainly when one is going to see one's guru in a yogic path, like Kriya Yoga, it is often seen that sight of that exalted teacher, that exalted guru, will give you a blessing to raise your awareness, if you will. You're able to transcend some of the everyday consciousness that you have and get into a higher state of awareness. So that's basically when people talk about Darshan, that's what they're looking for. It's like, oh, did you have the Darshan? Did you go and see the saint, right? That exalted yogi, and did you see, and did you get the emission, the transmission, if you will, right, from them? And so it's very much about that, and the idea about often people will be approaching sort of spiritual elders, if you will, either a monk or whatever, hoping that they will get a blessing. They will often ask for a blessing. Can I have a blessing? Can I have a blessing? To help empower them in the work that they're doing, their spiritual work, their worldly work, and whatever, to give them that little lift, to help them over, the next hill, if you will, in sort of the challenges of life. So what actually happens with Darshan? So contrary to the idea that the saint is blessing the student, to sort of sending the blessings through the ether, if you will, to the student, and the student absorbing those, that's not exactly what happens. When one gets into a state of inner awareness and one's consciousness is raised, right? And you can do this through Kriya Yoga once you get into the Pratyahara, the internalization state, right? Your awareness starts to change. What happens is that the energy that is in your aura, or your energetic field, if you will, changes. The vibration and the quality shifts. And as a result of that, you have a certain resonance. You're resonating with a particular range of vibrations in the universe, right? The prana, say we're swimming in an ocean of prana, right? So you're connecting into a certain vibration, and it has a resonance within your aura, within your energetic field. And when a yogi does this and they get into these high states, they have this vibration, if you will. If somebody has a sight of that yogi in the exalted state, they can tune into that vibration. And this is a form of resonance. It isn't that there's blessings being transmitted through the ether necessarily, but rather that the yogi's awareness is vibrating at a certain frequency. And consequently, once you start to get in attunement to the state of awareness or the energetic field of that yogi, you start to receive a blessing. Consequently, you have similar types of experience depending on what other things are happening within your energetic field, right? So if you've done a lot of work in Kriya Yoga and so help to sort of clean out the chakras, if you will, and you connect into a yogi who is vibrating at a higher frequency than your sort of awareness and your energetic field, you will receive a blessing, a darshan, if you will. And at Modern Kriya, our website, modernkriya.com, we're informed by Taoist internal alchemy approach. And key to Taoist internal alchemy is the idea of becoming in resonance with a variety of energetic fields that are connected with teachers, with the earth, with the primal elements, these kind of things. And really tuning in is a term in Taoist internal alchemy we call guan yin. And what that means is resonance. So the darshan, if one is receptive to the state of awareness that that particular yogi or saint is in, the darshan is really very much about attunement, right? of resonance, of guan yin with that particular yogi. And that's the way that those things work, right? You attune your field, your vibration, with what that yogi is experiencing. So the challenge is when people start in a spiritual path and they're just given, practices, they don't necessarily know how to tune into those higher levels, if you will, the higher levels of vibration. And the Kriya Yoga is really great because it helps to clean out and internalize one's awareness, right? But one still needs to develop the ability to tune in to higher levels of vibration. And that's something that really, with the guidance of a teacher, you can develop over time. Now, how do you apply this in your everyday life as a Kriya Yogi? Well, we know that when you get into an internalized state, into Pratyahara, right, and you get deep in and you start to experience Dharana, which is this concentration, the sort of the void, if you will, your consciousness is withdrawn within, and you get into the tranquil breath, right? You become very still inside, and you're very receptive to a variety of energetic fields around you, a variety of manifestations of prana, if you will. So if it's tuning into the Om vibration, if it's tuning into other types of higher level vibrations, if it's tuning into the vibration of a particular saint, right? For instance, with Lahiri Baba, you get very still inside, you get very internalized. You then have less static in the way so that you can initiate an attunement. And that's what I would suggest if you're just using Kriya Yoga alone, is that if you get into the tranquil breath, very still state, you start to feel this sort of sense of expansion. You might start to feel some bliss coming up, right? That you can, at that point, to tune in to a particular saint. It might be Lahiri Baba, it might be Mahavadar Babaji, whatever it is, whatever your spiritual background is, you can tune into that sort of higher level vibration and just start to resonate. And by resonating with it, your awareness will change, your meditation will deepen. And this is a way that you can apply sort of the principles of Darshan in your Kriya Yoga practice. Now, the other thing that you can do to help benefit those around you is that when you get into that higher state of awareness, right, you get internalized, you get into the tranquil breath, you become very still, you start to attune with something, right, and you start to experience this sort of a conscious expansion and so on. As you're coming out of your meditation or near the end of your meditation, you can actually connect with your loved ones with just a gentle intention. And this is something that we use in modern Kriya, is the inner smile. It comes from Taoist internal alchemy, right? By smiling and accepting whatever we're tuning into completely. Now, if we do this with one of our loved ones, when we've got into sort of an expanded state of awareness in Kriya Yoga meditation, and we smile at them, right? What that does in effect is to establish an energetic connection between you, and then they have an opportunity, mostly at a subconscious level. They can connect with that, come into resonance with it, and they will benefit from that, because then it changes their state of consciousness. It changes their energetic configuration, if you will, the way that the energy is flowing within them. So if you are experiencing, feelings of peace and bliss, and you make that connection with them, it's an invitation for them to connect to those feelings of peace and bliss that you are vibrating in resonance with. So it's like spreading the blessings, if you will. And so this is a really great way to share the benefits of your meditative experience with those around you. So if you have any questions about this video, feel free to send me an email at info@modernkriya.com. Also check our website at modernkriya.com and our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.